Okay, now let's go to the continuation. Now, what about if the bonds, no, let's say, is issued not as annually? No, so this time they are issued semi-annual. Kasi in our example, no, the bonds was issued on an annual basis. But this time they are issued semi-annually. So meaning the interest will be paid twice in a year. No? So every 6 months, ibig sabihin. So in that case, in the payment period natin, the N, no, should be multiplied by 2. Kasi semi-annual. But the required rate of return should be divided by 2. Then the coupon payment should be divided by 2. Okay, ulitin natin ha. So the N, no, if it is semi-annual, then multiply by 2. The required rate of return to be divided by 2, and the coupon payment to be divided by 2. Now, if it is quarterly, no, if it is quarterly, issued quarterly for the interest payments, then you use 4 here, then this also 4, and this also 4. If it is quarterly. Now, if it is monthly, then use 12. No? 12 times 12 divided by 12 for the R, then 12 divided by the CP divided by 12. Okay? But here in our example, it is a semi-annual fund. So, using the same example, no, in 2008, Worldwide United issued a 9.125% semi-annual coupon bond with 1,000 par value maturing at the end of 2019. So the required return is 8%. So this time, once you compute, no, so we have the R. So we said that it is to be divided by 2. So that's why 8% divided by 2. So it's 4. So 1.04. And then the period from 2008 to 2019 is 11 years. So that is N. So times 2. So that's why it's 22. No? And then this one, previously it was 91.25. So divided by 2, so it's 45.625. No? So the present value for this one is 421.96. So the present value of the face value or the par value is 421.96. And then the present value of all the coupon payments is 659.33. Okay, and so the total amount for the value of the bond is 1,081.29. So what did you notice? No, doon sa annual, it was 1,080, no, something, di ba? Kanina. So it's 1,080.31. But this time it is 1,081.29. So meaning, the more conversion periods that we have, not the higher the value of the bond. So pagka may tinanong sa inyo, ano mas mataas ang value ng bond? Yung conversion period na semi-annual or annual or quarterly? Anong sagot nyo? What will be the answer? What or which will give you the higher or highest value for the bond? The one with the conversion period of 1 year or annual, semi-annual, or quarterly? Floor.
Sir, quarterly po.
Hindi ko alam.
Sir, pag semi-annual po, mas mataas po siya dun sa annual. If i-compare po sa kanina.
Pero sa tatlo ngayon, sino na mas mataas lalabas? Based on the conclusion that we made a while ago. Diba? Binanggit ko na. Quarterly, semi-annual, or the annual?
Quarterly po. Kasi mas shorter po siya.
Ano ba yan? Tanong ba sa akin yung floor o yan ang sagot mo na? Dapat may conviction, no? Kasi sinasabi quarterly po. O, the question mark yun. Gusto ko period siya or exclamation point. But anyway, that answer is correct, no? Kaya lang patanong mo kasi sa akin sinasagot, no? Dapat hindi patanong, ha?
Yes po, sir.
So,
Sorry
syempre yung
po.
quarter A mas mataas. Kasi more conversion period eh. So, tulad ng sabi natin, the more conversion periods, the higher the amount, no, of the value of the bond. Okay? Next natin. Nandito rin pala siya, no? Ayan. Yung mo, nalilimutan ng lolo ninyo yung mga ginawa ng PowerPoint, no? So, ito yung annual, no? Ito yung annual, and this one is the semi-annual. Okay, so what about the yield to maturity? So this time, we are asked, no? Or what is the yield to maturity? So when we see yield to maturity, that is the expected rate of return if the bond was held up from the time it was purchased until its maturity date. No? So meaning, if you bought the bonds, no, here at tier 0, and then you hold the bond until its maturity year or maturity date. So what you call that yield to maturity. That is what you earned, no, for holding the bond from year 0 to year 10. Okay? So this time, now once we are asked to compute for the yield to maturity, ang formula natin, instead of using a year, no, we will be using the YTM. No? So we are asked to compute for the yield to maturity. We are asked to compute for the yield to maturity. Now the problem with this class is that once we compute for the yield to maturity, there is no exact formula. There's the exact formula, class. So making it more difficult. So how to compute now the yield to maturity? Kasi this time, we're given this value, no? Tapos ito given din. This one given also. This one given. But we do not know the yield to maturity or the rate. So this time, we are looking for the yield to maturity. Now, there are different ways, no, to compute for the yield to maturity. One is the trial and error, and then interpolation. But this one is very, very tedious, no? Just imagine trial and error. But in some cases now, we can use the table. We can use the table for the present value of 1 and the present value of the annuity of 1. No, pwede yun. Pwede yun. At yan lang sa atin, no? At present times, hindi na tayo gumagamit ng table. We are using only the calculator. So in my case, I'm not using table. No, yung table ng present value of 1 at saka present value of annuity of 1. Instead, I'm using the scientific calculator or just the ordinary calculator. Then another one is to use the formula using the approximate yield to maturity. So this one is more simple compared to this one. But in terms of reliability, this one, of course, is more reliable. Yung yield to maturity. Then, the third one is the use of Excel. So that is the easiest among them. No? Excel. No? We simply use the Excel and then look for the yield to maturity. But the problem is, while you are as a student, and if you're going to take the board exam, no, you're not allowed to use Excel. No? So, ganun. So anyway, what I will teach you is the approximate yield to maturity. No, not the trial and error anymore. But maybe in the exercises, I can provide you exercises with trial and error. No? But in my book, no, yung Financial Management Part 2, sabi niyo, bumili kayo ng book na yan, di ba? Yung Financial Management Part 2. So, by the way, did you buy the book, class? Yung Financial Management Part 2? So, I suggest that you buy the book, no? Financial Management Part 2 by Timbang, no? Kasi sabi ko nga sa inyo, lahat ng topics nandoon sa libro na yan. No? So, if you can buy the book, no, yung Financial Management Part 2, yung yung second edition, then the better class, no? Kasi all the discussions are there and it is more complete than the first edition, especially on the derivatives part, no? Mas complete yon. And then of course I added some, no? Added some topics in the different topics, no? Sa chapters ng book na yon, no? Kaya medyo mas makapal siya, mas marami siya, no? So anyway, that is the yield to maturity, no? If you hold the bond from the time you bought it up to the time the bond matures, no? So yan yung yield to maturity. Now again, what we will use, no, is the approximate yield to maturity. Now, if we use the approximate yield to maturity, the formula will be, now you have the coupon payment, then you have the par value minus the price of the bond divided by the number of periods all over divided by, add by par value plus the price of the bond, then divided by 2. Okay? So, example tayo, we have on January 1, 2020, Y Corporation issued 10% 5-year bond with face value of $100,000 at 97,500. So, compute for the approximate yield to maturity. So, by the way, sorry kung dollars yung mga ginagamit ko dito, class, no? Hindi peso. Kasi, I actually used this PowerPoint presentation, no, when I lectured in Malaysia, no, kasi when I was invited to be a guest lecturer, no, for the bonds, syempre gagamitin ko dollars, hindi peso, no. So I did not use also the Malaysian ringgit kasi it's a combined class of Filipinos and Malaysians. So I used instead dollars, ha. Kaya dollars yung mga example ko natin peso, ha? So anyway, using the approximate yield to maturity, we can use the AYTM or simply the YTM subscript A, ha? So for the coupon payment, you have 10,000, so that is 10% times 100,000, so you have 10,000 plus 100,000, then 97,500. So ito yun, no? So meaning that is the price of the bond. Then divided by 5, no? So kasi ito yung 5 years, di ba? And then we have the 100,000 plus 97,500 all over 2. So the approximate yield to maturity is 10.63%. Now in other books, class actually, no? In other books, they're using different formula for the approximate yield to maturity. So for example, sa isang school na nakita ko, no, what they are using, no, is that the 100,000 here for the denominator, instead of getting the average or divided by 2, yung 100,000 they will multiply that by 40%, and then the 97,500 multiplied by 0.60. So they are putting more weights on the issue price of the bond and lower weight for the par value of the bond, no? But in my case, no, majority of the research that I did, no, for the approximate yield to maturity, the denominator is average. So the reason why I'm using the average, okay? But do not be confused, no, because in other schools or some books, no, in ibang authors, they are using the 40-60 rule. So the par value is multiplied by 40% plus the issue price or the price of the bond multiplied by 60%. So wala na divided by 2, no? So anyway, for this one, we are using the average. So we have the 10.63%. Huh? So that is the approximate yield to maturity. However, no, if we will use, for example, the Excel. No, let's say we use the Excel. Okay. So let's say yan siya. No? Kung Excel ang gagamitin natin, no? Pinakita ko yung Excel kasi mas madali ito. But for the trial and error kasi, meron ba ako? Wala. No? Yung trial and error kasi medyo mahaba class. No? But again, no, I will be teaching that to you when we are in the exercises. Now for the Excel, right, no? All you have to do is to put the issue price, which is 97,500, but that is in parentheses, no? So meaning negative kasi outflow yan ng cash. And then you have the coupon payments, which is 10,000 per year. And then on the final period or maturity year, you have the FV, which is 100,000 plus the 10,000 na coupon payment. So that's why it is 110,000. Huh? So just click the financial. No? Look at the financial. Oh, first, yung formulas pala, no? Formulas, look at the formulas. Then financial. And then you look for the IRR. No? IRR, which is internal rate of return. No? IRR yun. And then you click this part. Yan, click niyo. And then highlight. I-highlight nyo lang lahat ng ito. So, dito sa guess, huwag na kayo maglagay. Okay lang yan, no? Guess lang naman yan. Ibig sabihin, parang inuhulaan mo lang, no? But you will just highlight yung itong column ng B na to from 97,500 negative to 110,000. So, ito yun. Yung part na yan. And then just enter. And you will get 0.10670838. Now, which is already close to 10.63%. No? But this one, of course, is more accurate. Huh? This is more accurate because you're using the Excel. This one is just an approximate. No, approximate. So this one is more accurate than the approximate yield to maturity. Okay? Clear ba yung class? Okay, Francine.
Sir, I wanted to ask po, dun po sa approximate yield to maturity po na formula, default po ba palagi yung over 2? Kasi sir, what if naging quarterly po or kung iba po yung nakalagay na
Hindi,
conversion
magbabago
period?
yan. Siyempre,
Opo.
magbabago yun. Ay, yung 2 na to.
Opo, yung over 2 po.
Hindi.
Default po ba siya palagi?
Default siya na 2, no? But this one, of
Regardless of
course,
the conversion period po, sir.
but this one, of course, this one is the number of periods will be the
Change
one to
po.
change, no?
Opo.
Okay yan. Ano pa ba?
Opo,
Okay
sir.
na yan?
Thank you po.
So that is, of course, the default yung 2 na yan, no? Kasi average lang talaga yan. But the number of periods here will change, of course. And then also the coupon payment.
Tapos sir, yung number of periods po, months pa rin po yung bilang.
Depende kung ano yung ano mo. Kung quarterly yan, then you multiply by 4. No, yung the number of years, then multiply by 4. But if it is annual, walang multiplication yun. Or if you want to multiply by 1. So kung monthly naman yan, you multiply that by 12. Yun nga lang, pagdating dito sa dulo, because you are annualizing that, no, we are annualizing that. So you multiply that again by 2 if it is semi-annual, by 4 if it is quarterly, and by 12 it is monthly. Kaya yung iba ang ginagawa, hindi na nila kino-convert dito balik kung ano yung number of periods niya. Kung bang 5 years yan, 5 years na lang. Kasi yung difference, very small lang. No, very small lang. Okay? Nakuha ba?
Sir.
Sige, Flor. May tanong ka, Flor?
Sir, same question din po kay President. Then, sir, bakit po dinidivide po sa 2 after po mapag-add po yung face value tsaka po yung present value po? Yung sa
With that regard, no?
po.
Actually, I do not know the reason why you have to divide that. Kasi meron nang nag-derive niyan. So we are just taking in the formula as it is. No? But maybe the reason for that because I think kasi we are getting the price of the bond tapos ina-approach na yung par value. So the reason why we are getting the average only. No? Yung ina-approach na yung par value.
Okay po, sir. Thank you po.
But with the reason for that, no, I do not want to lie, no, I do not know. But it was derived from certain formula, no? Kasi hindi naman ako yung mathematician na nag-derive ng mga formulas na ganyan. I can simply divide the formulas, of course,
Opo, sir.
based on the formula itself already, no? Pero coming from certain, tapos i-derive kung ganyan, I do not know why, no?
Okay
Pero
po.
yun ang hint ko lang. Yun lang ang hint ko. The reason why we have this divided by 2, it is because the price of the bond eventually goes to the par value of the bond. And then the reason why we are just averaging them. Kumbaga, every year, nagbabago siya. Kung halimbawa 5 years na halimbawa, from 0 to 5, so meron tayong amount dito na 100,000. Dito pala yung 97,005. No, tapos nandito yung 100,000. Ito na lang dalawa yung kinukuha natin. Kasi eventually, kung meron siyang year 1 dito, year 2, until year 5, yung mga in-between na yan, eventually, no, parang na-average na rin siya. No, parang na-average na rin siya. So the reason why we're just getting the first and the fifth. But if you want, now you can try yung what will be the value at year 1, what is the value at year 2, 3, and 4. But eventually, we can see that the average of 97,005 and 100,000, no? And then if we add yung dito, year 1, 2, 3, 4, will be the same. Lalabas pareho lang yan. Kaya to shorten, ang kinukuha na lang natin yung dalawang ito. No?
Okay po,
Yun lang
sir. Thank you po.
explanation ko, no? But it's not a scientific explanation as can be explained by the mathematicians. No? I'm a simple CPA and a graduate of finance.
Opo, sir. Thank you po, sir.
Okay. Now we have also this what you call yield to call, no? So once we say yield to call, so let's see use this part, no? Yan, yung yield to call na to. So we are saying, no, that if the bond, let's say at year 0, tapos umabot sa year 10, we are saying that that is yield to maturity, di ba? But in some cases, no, in some cases, the issuer of the bond, no, the issuer of the bond, once they see an opportunity to lower the cost of paying the interest, no, they are what? They are calling the bonds. Kasi kung halimbawa yung yield to maturity or yung coupon payments mataas, tapos suddenly yung interest rate bumaba. And they would like to take that opportunity to lower also the coupon payments. So kaya minsan, no, the bonds, they have this provision na it can be called by the issuer. But once they call the bond, no, once they call the bond, no, the issued bond, magbibigay syempre ng premium yun. So instead of paying only, for example, 100,000, babayaran kayo mga 102,000 pesos. No? Kasi syempre lugi si bondholder eh. Kasi if you are expecting to earn the yield to maturity, this time you're not going to earn the yield to maturity because it was called early by the issuer. No? Kaya ang gagawin naman ni issuer, magbibigay siya ng premium. So once called, for example, here at year 5, so let's say ito yung year 5 natin. No? So nandito na siya ngayon. So ang tawag dyan ngayon ay YTC. So yan na yung tinatawag nating yield to call. Kasi you are not going to earn the yield to maturity. But you will earn only a yield up to the time the bond was called or is called by the issuer. But like what I said, no, there will be a premium to be paid by the issuer to you. No? Kasi lugi ka naman. Kasi you're expecting for the yield to maturity. But because the issuer, no, there is an opportunity for them to lower the coupon payments, the reason why they are calling the bonds. Para mapababa nila yung bayad ng interest nila. Okay? So that is the yield to call. So the formula, no, lalabas dito, instead of YTM yan, it will be YTC, no? YTC na. But again, the computation for this is difficult, no? It is difficult because there are 3 ways to compute for that. So again, you have the trial and error, you have the approximate yield to call, and then the third one is the use of the Excel, no? So example tayo ngayon. So we have the MCU bonds currently sell for $1,180 and they have a par value of 1,000, no? So they pay a 105 annual coupon payment and have 15-year maturity. But they can call in 5 years at 1,100. So tignan nyo, no? It can be called at 1,100. So instead of paying you only 1,000, this time they will pay you 1,100 simply because they are calling the bonds, no? So what is the yield to call? So ang formula natin ngayon bali rito ay ito, no? So this time we have the 105 yung coupon payment, and this one instead of 1,000, no, magiging par volume na ngayon ay 1,100, no? Kasi di ba sa formula natin kanina, no, sa approximate yield, so yun, par value is the 1,000 or 100,000, no? Ito yung per value natin. But this time, yun na, they are putting what? A premium. So which is 100. No? Tapos ito pa rin yung issue price natin divided by 5. And then we have the 1,001. So this time, this one is not the par value, but the with a premium, and then plus 1,180 and then divided by 2. No? So this time, the approximate yield to call will be 7.81%. Okay? Siyempre, yung issuer ng bond, mautak din yan, no? They do not want to pay interest which is high. So they would rather, no, call the bonds, no? But in paying for the bonds, upon called, no, the payment to the bondholder will be higher than the normal par value. Okay, so yung yield to call natin, lalabas, ito yun, no? 1,180. Tapos dito, yung 1,100 plus the 105. So the same procedure then with the yield to maturity, no? And then you can get 7.73%, no? Pareho ba siya ron? Hindi, no? May difference din. Kasi nga, this one is approximate and this one is the use of the yield to call. I mean use of the Excel. Okay? The next one, no? To compute for the current and capital gains yield, no? Now for the current yield, the formula is annual coupon payment then divided by the current price. Now yung coupon payment natin, alam naman natin yung coupon payment, and then what is the current price? So for the current yield, they are changing from time to time. Bakit? Kasi yung current price ng bond, every year nagbabago. No? Nagbabago yan every year. So, as the bond, no, goes to its maturity date, the value of the bond changes. And that is the current price. So, kaya nagbabago yan. Yung annual coupon payment naman, di nagbabago yan. But the current price changes from time to time, no? And then we have the capital gains yield, no? That is the change in price over the beginning price, no? So meaning this is the price of the bond when you bought it, and that is the change in price, no? Yung current price. So for the total expected return, no, or the yield to maturity, so we have the expected current yield and the expected capital gains yield. So basically, ito yung formula na yun. So for the expected total return, the yield to maturity. And to be exact, ano, yung total yield to maturity, ang lagi nagbabago lang itong dalawa. but the yield to maturity will always be the same. Provided that you hold the bond from year 0 up to its maturity date. So itong yield to maturity na to, they will not change. Ang lagi nagbabago lang itong dalawa. No? Kaya kung tumaas ito, bababa ito. At kung tumaas ito, bababa naman ito. But the yield to maturity will always be the same. No? Ayan yun, ha? So, example tayo ng current and capital gains yield. Ha? So, find the current yield and the capital gains yield for a 10-year, 9% annual coupon bond that sells for 887 and has a face value of 1,000. So, the current yield is 9% times the 1,000, so 90. And current price natin ay 887, so 90 divided by 887, so it is 10.15%. Okay, now for the current yield, ano naman yung computation natin sa current yield? So if the yield to maturity, so ito yung yield to maturity natin, 10.91%, no, kinumpute na natin. So simply deduct the current yield, and then you get the capital gains yield. Okay, so ganun lang siya. Huwag na yan, no? Huwag na natin pansinin yan. So, but when it comes to zero coupon bond, because not all bonds, they are paying interest. Now, not all bonds are paying coupon payments. So, some bonds are zero coupon bond. So, ibig sabihin nun, non-interest bearing yung bonds na yan. So, ang tawag sa kanya ay zero coupon bond. But the bondholder will earn from a zero coupon bond because of a deep discount, no, of the price of the bond. So basically, they only earn from the capital appreciation. No, they only earn from capital appreciation. Ha? Kaya ang formula lang natin, ganito lang. Face value times the 1 plus R raised to negative n. No? So ibig sabihin itong value na to, it is issued at what? At a discount. So we are expecting that the bond now will appreciate from time to time. And that would be the gain of the gain of the bondholder. Okay, so ano yung accrued naman? Accrued interest and pricing of the bonds. So yung accrued naman na to, so we compute, no? Of course, you know how to compute for the accrued interest, no? Yung accrued interest meaning if you bought the bond in between the interest payment, no, in between. Halimbawa, it was issued on January and the interest payment is every 6 months. And then you bought it in between, mga March. No? So that, meaning there is an accrued interest on that, no? So how do we compute for that now? So ito yung formula natin, no? So example tayo. So ABC Corporation issued bond last March 1, 2019, and the bond has 8% semi-annual coupon in a par value of 1,000. So the bond pays interest every March 1 and September 1. And an investor bought, no, the bond on June 1. So ibig sabihin may nag-lapse na March, April, May. O 3 months na nag-lapse, di ba? And so how much is accrued interest and then the relative price? So for the bond, we have 8% times the 1,000 divided by 2, so that's 40. Okay? And then we have the 90 days. Bakit 90 days na lang? Kasi lumalabas yan yung accrued from March to June. No, March to June. Huh? So that's why it's 90. But from March to June, but from March to September, there is what? 180 days. Okay, meron tayong 180 days. So meaning the accrued interest is 20. So the dirty price now is you add 1,000 and that 20 pesos. Because the accrued interest, you have to pay for that. Now yung accrued interest niyan, you have to pay for the accrued interest. So that's why this time we are paying 1,000 plus the 20, so it's 1,020. But on the on September 1, no, Meaning, even if you bought that in June 1, you will be paid an interest from March 1 to September 1. Ha? So, ganun lang siya. Okay, so that's the end of bond valuation, no?